G'day guys, this can only mean one thing: we are going fishing. So anyway, what I want to do is a rigging. I was actually going to do a catch and a cook because I want to show you guys how to make my fish cakes, and like other people know how to make them, but some of you don't. So I'd like to catch a salmon and make some fish cakes, but then I thought it's about time I showed you how I made my rig. So I've got 4 salmon rigs here. What I do like to use, I have used them all. So yeah, let's get started. Right, firstly, the reel I use is one of a Daiwa Sol. One of the Daiwa Sol LT 6000. There we go. It's a nice little reel, beautiful little reel. It is so light, that's what I like about it. It's spooled up with 30-pound braid, which is really nice. So anyway, sometimes I use a leader and sometimes I don't. Today I'm not going to use a leader because the wind is blowing southeast and it's going to be a bit blowy down there, so a leader will slow my cast down a little bit. So I'm going to fish direct braid. If you was going to use a leader, I would just wind on a trace of 35-pound line. You know, I would join it onto my line with an Albright knot and wind enough onto my rod and just have it turn onto my reel once, that's all. And then I would join my rig to that leader, obviously. But I am not using a leader. I'm just gonna join a swivel straight to my braid. The knot I'm going to use is a blood knot. I use blood knots for everything. I was brought up using a blood knot. So I'll show you what I'll do. I'll just bring this a bit closer. Right. Firstly, I got my braid, my 30-pound braid. I double my braid over, right? Then I get my swivel. It's just a cheaper swivel. You can use the good quality swivels. I've got crane swivels here, you know, with a bearing. They're nice little swivels. But yeah, I'm gonna use the cheap swivel just to show you guys. These are okay, they're fine. I have never had one break on a fish, ever. If they get a bit tarnished, like, you know, a little bit of corrosion or discolor, throw them away and use another one. Anyway, right. Put my line double braid through the eye and just tie a blood knot, which is, because it's fine braid, I'm going to use like a good 6 wraps up the line. Rightio. Hold it there just to hold that loop, right? You don't want it closing up because I want to pass the line back through there. Right, I'm going to wrap the line up the main line. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Back in through that eye you formed. Okay, and then back through the eye you've just formed by doing that, or the loop, whatever you like to call it. Grab the tag end and there you have it. Now, braid isn't nylon, so it's not gonna create friction when you pull it tight, but maybe just in case, give it a bit of a lube and just pull it up. Help it slide. Now, because it's double, you might want to pull this tag end a little bit just to make sure everything in there pulls up nice. And there you have it. That knot will not come undone, and it is very strong, very strong. So snip off the tag end. Like so. Okay, that is done. One connected swivel. Right, I'll just wind this up. I forgot to say the rod I'm using is like a broomstick. It's an old, I think it used to be a 5/120, and I've actually broken the tip on it. But I'm using this today because last time I went fishing I fell over at the back of my car when I got home, and I broke the tip off my other rod, my Snyder Glass 4/120, and yeah, not good. Hurt my shoulder and all, and that took ages to come good. But yeah, not good. So I'm using what I call a broomstick. It is pretty stiff, but it'll do the job. It's nice and light. Rightio, I'll wind that up. Okay, so let's make the rig, the business end. Right, the line I'm using is called Superflex. It's £35 line and it's made in Germany. Pretty much all lines made in Germany are good quality lines. Snyder's another good one that's made in Germany. I used to use a line called Bayer that was made in Germany. It's very good stuff. But anyway, right, we get the line. First thing I'm going to do is make a loop in the end of the line to fix onto that swivel. The reason I use a loop is if there's a school of salmon there, a big school, I might want to put a lure on, so I can just easy take this rig off and zip a lure onto that swivel. Anyway, the loop is how you do that. Just double your line over, give yourself a little bit to play with, but I want to make that loop as small as possible, not too big. Right, this is pretty much just a granny knot. So I'm going to go back around the line, okay, and then that tag end of the loop goes back through that loop you've just made, see, and then I just grab it and pull it up tight, and there you go, one loop. Snip off this with the scissors. I generally use my teeth, and you shouldn't. Right, snip that off. Right, there's that. Now, come down only this far. You don't have to come down far. I'll measure it for you. That is, things we do, 19 centimeters, say 20 centimeters, okay? Just down that far. Right, so I'll come below that 20 centimeters, just come down a little bit, and this is going to be my first dropper loop. Right, so I'm gonna wind that dropper loop back up, you know, both of these lines together, kind of like a blood knot, but only twice, right? I'm gonna go once, okay, once, twice. Right, I just heard a rat. Okay, this tag end, you might say, goes back through the loop I'm hanging onto there to form that loop. Now just pull it tight carefully, okay? I like to just put my little finger in there a little bit if I can. Okay, just let it all pull up nice, and then you can grab it at the top and give it a pull. There you go, first dropper loop. Okay, I like it when they stick up like that, because when I hang my snood off there, it's going to really, you know, hold it out nice. There you go. If you don't want to do that, you could do this. Here's another line. Right. Here's another dropper loop. Line, just do that, form another loop, you know, just like that. And then get this tag end, put it through there, put it through that loop, so you got this loop happening, and just wrap it around in there. 1, see what's happening here? 2, 3, 4. Okay, now this end here goes back through that little loop in the middle there. So I'm going to get that. Make my loop a bit bigger to get it in there. Okay, get that and just pull it in that loop. Okay, see what I'm doing? I'm trying to hold everything tight at the same time with both my hands. Alright, a little bit of lubrication. Pull that up tight. Hear that? Lovely. There's another nice dropper loop. I actually like them a bit bigger than that, but that's fine. No problem. Still a dropper loop. There you go. If you don't want to use any of them dropper loops, you can use a 3-way swivel. Same thing. My dad actually likes that. I've used them a lot, but I just tend to stick to my other way now. There's a 3-way swivel, tied each side with a blood knot, and my loop on top again. Anyway, there's that one. That's a double 3-way swivel to my bottom swivel for my sinker. I'll just put that aside. Right, I'll connect this swivel, the rig what I started, I'll connect that onto my swivel with that loop. I'll wind it up a bit with my reel, so then I can do the next one. The next one, you know, that was like 20 centimeters down from the swivel. Next one I'll come down about there, which is, to me, looks like 45 centimeters. Have a quick measure. Oh, 45 centimeters. Hey, that's pretty good. Right, my next dropper loop. Same thing. I'll come down a little bit like this, make that loop, and then, you know, wind it back up on my line. 1, 2, and then that tag end back through. Just like that, right? A little bit of lubrication. If you pull nylon slow, that's okay. You're not going to create any friction. See, if you pull it up fast, you don't want to burn it. Right, well, see, I got my little finger in that loop, which I like, and you can pull it up first, then just pull it from the top. See, that one's come up as well. Lovely, I love that. Come down again. About yay far, that would be, I don't know, 35 centimeters. I shall measure it. 35 centimeters. I think 35. Can you see that? Twisting my arm around. Right. Now I'm going to go a snib longer to allow for the knot. Okay, because the knot, amazingly, you know, pulls up, and I'll lose a little bit of length. So I'll come down a little bit more and snip it off. Right, now I'll get my swivel. Yeah, I'll get another one out of here. Don't want a too tiny swivel. That'll do. It's not huge, but that'll be fine. And I'll just tie this on the bottom. That's why I allowed a little bit extra line for my knot. Okay, a blood knot is again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will do. Now, if you were using much heavier line, you can't do that many wraps. Maybe only 3. So I've gone back through the loop and I've gone back through again for a full blood knot. Pull it up tight, snip off the tag end. there you have it. One half a rig, you might say. Now I've just got to make my snoods to go onto them dropper loops. Right. Okay, the hook I like to use down Waipinger is a 1/0. And reason being is because with a 1/0 I can catch the smaller fish as well as the bigger fish, because I really do like to come home with a feeder fish. So yeah, again, tie the hook on with a blood knot, a full blood knot. If you just go back through the eye once, like, you know, I'll just wrap this up 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5 will do. If you just go back through that first eye, that's a half a blood knot. Go back through the second eye or loop, that's a full blood knot. Now, lubrication and help it pull up. There you go. Pull it tight. Bite it off with my teeth, do the wrong thing. Now if you like, you can give it a bit more of a tight by putting it on something. Just pull it up tight. Okay, that hook's on. Now, I like to use a long snood. That's why my trace is, you know, this far from my bottom swivel to my loop, and the bit of a gap between, 50 centimeters, wasn't it? Doesn't matter about the gap at the top, it doesn't get tangled up there, so I like to have that top bit a bit shorter, just to keep the trace as short as I possibly can, so I can cast it easier. Okay, so I've got this one. So I like a long trace because I like to think my bait is moving, you know, in the water with the longer trace, because movement attracts bites, because most stuff what fish eat in the current is moving, isn't it? So yeah, fish are used to it, something moving. So I start off, because this is going to be 2 hooks, I like to make it a little bit longer. Be generous, because you don't want to tie it too short. You've also got to allow for your half hitch, what's going to go around the pilchard's tail. So right, what's that, probably 45 centimeters, 45, quick measurement for you guys. That is, oh, near 50 centimeters of line. Right, I'm gonna get another hook now. Just slide that, you know, slide that down my line, down here. Now put that hook exactly where you want it. Now this knot I'm going to use, it's not really a knot, but it's good. I've been using it for years. I was showing it years ago and I've used it hundreds of times and it has never come off. Anyway, get my line, wind it back down the shank towards the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, hold that in position, get your tag end back up through the eye. Okay, there you have it. That hook is fixed onto your line. Beautiful. Now come back up here. Right, the other end, one about that big, and make your loop. Remember, don't go too short because you've got to allow for that half hitch. Well, me anyway, because like I said, I like a long snood. Okay, pull that tight. Beautiful, there's my loop. Snip off the tag end. Lovely snood. Right, now I shall tie another one, which is a single hook, because we're only allowed to use 3 hooks. That is classed as 2 hooks. If they were ganged together, it would be classed as 1 hook. You're allowed to gang 5 hooks together and it's classed as one hook, which is insane. But yeah, that's classed as 2 hooks, so now I'm only allowed to use another 1 hook. So I'll just tie this one on with my blood knot again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be plenty. Remember, if it was thicker, only 3. And sometimes when it's thicker, you can only go back and do a half a blood knot. But it's really strong when it gets thick, no drama. Right, back through, twice, full blood knot, lubrication, help it up, don't force it or you will, you know, weaken your knot, just help it. There you go, pulling up the loop, beautiful. Tighten them up a bit. Again, you can put them on there if you want, just to make sure. It's good to do this actually, make sure it's not going to slip, and then you know you can snip off your tag end and it's slipped all the way and it's not going to slip anymore. Right, there you go, snipped off nice, 1 single hook. Don't have to come as long this time because I'm not putting a second hook on. We'll go there, what's that, 30 centimeters. Tie my loop, okay. Round once, granny knot, back through. There we go, another loop. And snip him off. Done. There's my 2 snoods. Double hook, single hook. Now I'm gonna put it on my line. Now I like putting the double hook on the top simply by, go the other way if you like, put your loop through that loop. Right, so you got that. Then you get your hooks, you put your hooks back through that loop. Okay, then it simply just pulls up, help that knot go through your eye, just like that, and then through there. There you go, connected, lovely. Right, now we'll put the bottom one on. Wherever that's gone, I've lost it. Unreal, can you believe it? Oh, there it is, found it. Can put the hook through first if you like. Hook through the loop. Okay, then the hook through that loop on the end of your snood. Okay, and just by running your fingers down here, right, on. Another snood, single hook on the bottom. Right, hope you can see that. I'll just move the camera back a little bit. There you have it, my salmon rig. Lovely, look how them snoods are sticking out from the side. Nice, I love it to like that. And look, the beautiful distances apart. Okay, so that's my general rig off Waipinger. 2 baits, 2 hooks, 35-pound trace right through, directly to my braid. Okay, another rig down Waipinger. Say there are some bigger fish there. I'll just put him aside. There, that's the one we're going to use later. If there's some bigger fish there, you can make a rig like this. It's all made exactly the same, blood knots, but it's just a single bait, you know, a nice long dropper. There you go, with 3 5/0 hooks for a whole pilchard. You can use 2 hooks if you like, but I like to use 3, but 2's fine. I use 2 a lot as well. Same thing, the hooks are stopping just above where the sinker would be on the bottom. Okay, and your loop at the top is not far above your snood and your loop. Doesn't have to be a big distance there at all. Again, to help keep your trace shorter for casting. So there's that way you can do. Another. Everything's tied the same like I just showed you. There's a spare dropper that goes over there. Okay, there's another one with a 3-way swivel on, again tied not far down from that dropper loop, but a nice distance to the bottom swivel. What's that? That's a good 50 centimeters for another nice long trace to come down to here for the movement. I don't like them little short ones. There you go. That's another way to tie a good salmon rig. Now, a single if it was really windy down there and really rough, you might really want to go to a single bait, because you will cast a lot better with a single bait, especially in rough conditions. Rightio, so there's that way. If I was gonna go to, well, there's my other one too. Yeah, I've showed you that already. Two three-way swivels, same as dropper loops, but 3-way swivels instead. Very good. Like I said, my dad likes to do that. If I was going to Salt Creek or anywhere where there's a good chance you might hook a nice big mulloway, I would use this rig. Now, if I was fishing again at a place like that, I would definitely put a leader on, because I like my running swivel to be running on nylon rather than braid, even though it will work fine, but I just like it running on nylon, so I would use a leader of 40 pound, 35. Anyway, that would slide up my main line. It's a sinker on a trace of line, which is 45 centimeters long. And then I've got a trace here with double 6/0. A big salmon would woof a 6/0 hook, no worries. And they are connected to 80 pound line. It's 80 pound Snyder. I will not use less than 80 pound line for mulloway. If you hook a big mulloway, you could easily lose your dream fish, because they can bite you off. I have been bitten off by massive mulloway and it wasn't good. It was very sad. So yeah, that slides up your main line. That ties to your main line. Just pretend I got a main line here, and that sinker is running, okay, tied on with a blood knot. I'll just show you one thing I do. In that situation, I don't. Okay, let's pretend now. Slide that onto your main line, right? Then I double my line. Okay, give you that extra strength around the swivel. Okay, then 1, 2, 3, 4 will do here, because that is 35 and doubled. Back through that loop again. Okay, and we're going to manage to get back through for a full blood knot. Okay, there you go, lubrication. Pull it up tight. Lovely. I like to grab that loop, give that a pull, give your tag end a little bit of a pull. It's all good. Snip it all off. There you have it. A double the line blood knot. You know, it's running twice around the swivel. All super strong for a super strong fish of a lifetime. Okay. Now this trace is actually quite long. Can you see that? I'll bring that closer. Okay, running sinker. And this trace is a good 800 long of 80 pound line down to 2 6/0. So there you go. That's what I would use down where I could easily hook a big mulloway as well as big salmon. Right, just put that aside. Okay, I never go salmon fishing without a lure. These are the lures I like to have in my bag. I've got a couple of lasers. Right, the hooks, what are on them, on this one, the bronze one, it's called a scorpion treble, which is a real nice treble. On this one is opposing, I reckon they're a number 2. Just general bait hooks hanging off the swivel, one each side opposing each other. Can you see how they're on? Okay. Now, if you've never caught salmon on a lure before, when you hook them, you'd be fighting them away and then they jump out of the water and they shake their head around, and this lure will shake around like this, and often they'll throw the lure out of the mouth and you'll lose him and it's see you later. Anyway, a good way, if you're losing a lot of fish, again, that hook, double hook, opposing hooks is good. But again, if you're losing more hooks and you've only got the treble, you can hang another hook off that split ring. That will help immensely, or even another treble if you're having problems landing them. Now, there's a couple of tips on that. I also, another couple of lures, these are 35 grams laser. These are the Aussie all-rounder lures, which are fantastic. They're good mulloway lures too. These are probably up around 50 grams, just in case it's a rough again and you want to cast out against the wind. You want a lure a little bit heavier. And there's the lures covered. Sinkers, I only take 4 sinkers out with me salmon fishing. Couple around the 3-ounce mark. Star sinkers, like I've said before, they hold better in the surf. There's nothing worse than using a sinker what's going to be dragging. No, you really want to use a proper surf sinker. Okay, take 2 of them. I like one around 2 ounce if it's a bit calmer, and even go down to a 1 ounce, 1.5 ounce if it's calmer again. So there, I've got my options open. What else are we doing here? Yes, and I like to take a spare. In here I've got, a couple of spare snoods. Nothing worse than losing a rig and you got to tie everything on the beach. Not good, so take some spares already tied. And in here we've also got, the dropper bit with the dropper loops on it, all ready to go. So you're going to be back in the water as quick as you can. And that, I think that's it, guys. You can use grapple sinkers if you like. It's really ripping and you just get it hard enough. I don't often use these. I use these about 2% of my fishing. But your options there if you need it. You can bend the wires up like that, or you can bend your wires down at the end like this. Okay. Problem with them, if it's weedy, you can imagine what happens if it's weedy. Got a grapple hook. Anyway, there is a sinker called a Gemini grapple hook. That's from England, and they're pretty good. But you can't move your bait. Well, if you move it, because the wires release on them, that's an option. I very rarely use them. Okay, I also take... I've always got a mulloway rig in my bag, just in case, because you can easily put a mulloway rig on your salmon rod. You might see one in the surf. That's that. I think. Let's go fishing, guys. Let's go get some fish. Okay, I'll see you down on the beach. I hope that's helpful. we're finally down here. Let's use this rig what I made. See if we can get some fish on it. Hopefully, and then we can do a catch and cook. She's a bit blowy down here, so please excuse any of the wind noise. Right, like I said at home, I'm going to be fishing with pilchard. There we have it, the completed rig with bait. All we need now is a fish hanging off it. See if we can get one. Alright, I'll put this on my head. Alright, let's do it. Alright, first cast. Hope you can hear me. Alright, doesn't look too bad. Just get our line out into that nice blue water there. Bit of a wave, bit shallow where the water's breaking, where the waves are breaking. But okay, let's get some fish. Well, that cast wasn't very far because my line's a bit dry. The first cast is always not very far. See if we can get a fish there though. Next cast will go a bit further. Okay, do that again. Bit further this time. That's better. The enemy. Bait stealers they are. Grab him there on the back of the shell. He won't get you. There you go. One crab. Oh guys, I got one. Usual story, I had the camera turned off. But there's one in the bag. Here, beauty. Try and get another one. Yeah, whoa, it's a big one. This is a big fish. Whoa, whoa. Hope we get him in. It's a good one. See him jump out of the water. This rod's a bit stiff. There he is. Nice. Nice fish. Whew. Nothing wrong with him. Beauty. Get a few fish cakes out of that one. Yes. Oh, here we go. Yes. Another good one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Not a bad fish, this one. Might jump for us in a minute. There he is. Oh, there's two of them. They're all right. Woohoo! Oh, here we go. Did I get him? Yeah, we got him. They're not bad fish today. They're good fish. There he is. Ooh. Nice. Well, if I get 4 more that big, that's my bag limit. Only allowed 10. 35 and over. 35 centimeters and over. 10 fish. Well, that's me finished. I'm pretty happy with what I've got. You know, I haven't been down here since the last video I made, which I've actually only been fishing twice in the last year. It's been a busy like year. Anyway, I'm here. And I got some fish to cook. So we can do a catch and cook. He's a nice fish. Lovely. Did alright. That down a bit. Yeah, so that's really good. We've done some rigging, we've done some catching. Now we can do some cooking. Yay! So I'll take these home obviously and we'll show you how I make my fish cakes. So we'll see you a bit later. It's getting cold now actually. I've used a few pilchards. Seagulls can have the rest of them. Alright, we'll see you when we get home, guys. Alright, I'm back. Now, just before I do these fish, you've seen Mitzi before. She's not over 19 now. So, wow, I hope she makes it to 20, eh? Now you're gonna sit down and be good, aren't you? Now I've got hair all over my gloves. I'm gonna have to change my gloves. Alright, look, you get so excited. Because we haven't had any fish for ages. Have we? Alright, I'm gonna change my gloves. Knock the fillets off these in hyper speed. Have we? Hyper speed. Awesome, all done. Now I'll just get them cleaned up and we'll do some cooking. Okay, here we go guys. Let's get these fish cakes made. So, firstly, what we need is some flour, a couple of eggs, and some panko breadcrumbs. Lovely. That's for when the fish cakes are made. So anyway, firstly we've got the salmon and potatoes. What we want is this roughly the same amount of potatoes as salmon. Now what I like to do, this is all optional what I put in there. You can put in whatever you like, but this is how I make them. Like I said, this is the basic. Your salmon and your potatoes, and away you go. And firstly, we have to boil the salmon in water. We'll take this over here, put it down. Right, we'll drop these salmon fillets. This is off that salmon what weighed 1.35 kilo or something like that. Anyway, let's see how many fish cakes we can get out of it. So we'll put the salmon in there, we'll boil it away. Now, I had a guy on a comment tell me that if you boil your salmon in milk, it comes out real yummy, but I've never tried that. But bear that in mind. I'll give it a go one day. But anyway, for now I'll do it the normal way, the usual way I do it. Salt water, cook, bring it to the boil, let the fish cook. The other pot is for the potato. I'll cut them up, not too small, but small enough just so that they cook a lot quicker, don't they, when they're smaller. I'll just chop all these up. Okay, done. Now let's get them in the water. Salt water as well. And yeah, we'll just boil them until they're nice and soft, so I can squish them up with my hand. Okay, the fish is done. So what I do now, bring it over to the sink, pour it in my colander. Steam up the lens of the camera. Let's give that a wipe. There you go. Salmon is draining. Rightio. Oh, watch that steam. The potatoes are ready. So right. Oh, lost one. That's okay. Probably didn't need that one. Okay. Now, I'll let them cool down. The fish is cool. Now I'll let the potatoes cool. Okay, we're ready to go. Potatoes cool, fish is cool. I've actually got two bowls here. This is the one I'm going to do my regular fish cakes in. This one I'm going to do some curried fish cakes. I've never had them before. So that's what I mean. You can just try what you want to try. Just need the basic, the potato and the fish, and then just wing it. You can taste it as you go as well. So right, we want 50-50 potato in there. Probably that much, or one more little bit. Okay, and the rest of that can go into there. About that much. Yeah, that's fine. That little bit more in there. Right, there's the potato. Get rid of that. Okay, now I've got my cheese. I love putting a bit of cheese in, so most of that can go into that one. A little bit into this one. Right, cheese is in. Right, a little bit of onion. Lovely, got a little bit in there. Yum. Okay, tomato sauce. Hey, what you like, whatever you want. Right, a nice squirt in there. I won't put tomato sauce into the curried one. I don't know whether they will go together. Right, bit of salt. Not too much, we don't want salt overload. Put a bit in there, I guess. Right. A little bit of chili. I don't like too much chili because it can, you know, overtake. Just a dash. A couple of them, that'll do. Right, in this one, let's put our little bit of, well, I'll put a bit in for now and not too much. I'll have to add as I go. About that much for starters. I'll taste it. Right, I like Tuscan seasoning, so I'll put a bit of that in there. Again, don't get carried away, you know, once you put it in, you can't take it out. You don't want to ruin it. Let's stick with that much. Okay. A little bit of lemon pepper. Okay. I'm not going to put too much of this in there because that's curry. Little bit of black pepper. And there's just pepper already in the lemon pepper, so I won't put too much of that in there either. Right. Little spoon. Right, spoon for my garlic. I'll put a couple of teaspoons of garlic in here. Or, yeah, not too much, that'll do. Let's see, what else we got here? A little bit of dill. I'll put a bit of dill in here, eh? Gee, that curry smells good. See, I'm not the world's greatest cook, I just like having a play. A little bit of basil. I'll do a bit in there too. I'll do. Right, I think that's it right now. Now we mush. I'll do this one first. Oh, sorry. What am I doing? I forgot me veggies. You gotta add your veggies. Some mixed veggies. Peas, corn and carrots. We'll also put some in there for sure. The curried ones. Right, let's mix. I'll grab a bit on my finger. Put it onto my spoon. Taste. A little bit more curry, not a lot. Looks good. Okay. Awesome, done. So we got 2 bowls, regular and curry. Not overloaded with curry, but you can taste it, that's for sure. So I'll leave that as it is. Let's make the fish cakes. There's a lot of mix there. Okay, let's begin. We'll start with the regular. Rightio. You make them as big as you think you might want them. We generally go around that size. Beautiful. Yummy. Look at that little chili flake. Yum. So, right. Flour. Egg. Crumbs. Keep one hand dry if you can. Saves a little bit of mess. Yum. Right here. Yum. There you go. Right here, that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 regulars and 4 curry. That's 15 fish cakes out of a 1.355 kilo salmon. So, pretty good. Right, let's cook them. Here we go. I think the oil's nice. These are pretty big. I reckon I could have made a few more if I'd made them a bit smaller. Oh yes, we have sizzle. I reckon 1/4 time. Well, there you have it, guys. They don't look too bad, do they? Yum. These 4 are the curry ones, and these are the regular. Now, I'm gonna have to try one. These should be cooled down a bit. Put that inside. Looks alright, doesn't it? Yum. Now let's taste that little bit there. Yeah. If you've never tried these, you have got to try them. They are beautiful. And for all you who have tried them, you know how good they are. Yum. No, I've never tried curry. It's got that yellow curry tinge. Okay guys, here goes. Hope it doesn't burn my face off. Right. Yum. That curry one is beautiful and all. Yum, yum, yum. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. You'll stay safe and all that sort of stuff. And I'll see you another time when I can get out fishing. Alright dudes. Adios. See you later. I'm gonna eat my dinner.